Hi everyone, this is Maggie, and this is a quick project share. When I saw Tricia's video of her newest flower, which is the Easy Shabby Chic No Sew No Glue flower, I had to try it, and I made a few, so I wanted to share them with you. The first one I did was the pink. And I had this, actually this is the very first flower I made. I had this really sheer pink fabric, and you can see the glitter on it. And so I cut circles, and 1, 2, 3. I only used 4 circles for this one, but it falls really nice, and I really liked how it came out. And you can see this is where the button is, and this is the little elastic, I forget what they call them right now, loom bands maybe. And so this was the first one I made. And I hadn't put anything in the middle of it yet. And if you've seen Tricia's video, then you know. If you do put anything in the middle, then obviously you have to sew it or glue it on. So that was the only part, though. And I did use glue. And let me show you what I did to... I wanted it to look like stamens on this one. So what I did was I took, one of these connectors, doily connectors, and I just folded it in half and then folded it again like that, and then I just put a little tiny bit of glue and I pushed it down in the middle, and that's how it came out. And I thought, yeah, it does kind of look like stamens. So yeah, I was happy how that one came out. So that's that one. And then this one, I used that same pink, but I also had some sheer white, and I just I used 6 on this. I didn't do, like pink, white. There's a pink, a white, there's 2 pinks, a white, and a pink. So I really like how this fabric, once you kind of pull it a little bit, I really like how it sits. And this was also, using the circles. And I took a connector and I just put it in the middle, and then I put this little acrylic rose in there for something different. And before I forget, I will put a link to Tricia's tutorial on these no sew no glue flowers, so you can go, and I can't imagine if you haven't already checked them out, but in case you haven't seen them, I'm going to put a link to her video, and then you can go see. She made some gorgeous ones with this flowery material, and oh my gosh, they're just gorgeous. So anyway, the next ones I made, I had this, and I've made other flowers with this material. And let me take the big one first, because see, you can see through it, and it's got these black dots. It's white with black polka dots, or Swiss, I don't know if it's polka dots or Swiss dots, but anyways, I made a larger one first. And on this one, what I did a little bit different was, I wish I had some circles. I didn't even think. But instead of piling them on top of each other like I did for the pink one, I started with one, and then I just kind of went around with the other petals, so that it would make it look like the petals were a little bit different, if that makes any sense. And I like how that came out too. And then I used another connector, and then I had this black rose acrylic piece, and I thought that went perfectly with this flower. So that's how it comes out if you scatter, or I don't know if scatter's the right word, but you know what I mean. If you just take the circles and you don't put them on top of each other, you just kind of move them around a little bit. And then this was a second one. I wanted to try a little one, and this I think I did just put them on top of each other, and this is how this one came out. And I love this one. I love how it looks, and it's going to be perfect for maybe a little a small needle book or something. If I did it black and white, it would be the perfect size. And I just put another pearl and silver button in the middle of this one. And then the next set I did was these, and I had a little bit of this material left that I had gotten at Joann's, and you can see it's kind of see-through. It's, as Tricia said, the lighter the fabric, the easier it is to manipulate, and I did find that to be so true, because I did try a thicker fabric, and it didn't work at all. But this, because the in-between is just some like really thin netting, this material here worked really well. And these flowers came out super shabby. The difference with this one is I used squares instead of circles. And I alternated, let me show you quick. Let me just make a couple of, where this is the last piece I have. Maybe I'll even make another tiny one. But let me just cut these squares so you can see what I did. All right, so with the squares, what I did was I took one and I placed it like that. And then the next one, instead of putting it right on top, I placed the the edges differently, and then I went like that, and then I went like that, so you could see it was almost like in a star shaped with those with the corners, and then I put the button in the middle, and did my thing, and that's how that came out. And I really love how the squares look. And then once you after you put the band around it, and you start pulling the layers a little bit to form the flower, I just love how shabby that looks. And I just put a large flat back pearl in the middle of that one. And then I made a much smaller one. I wanted to make a few small ones, and this came out just as shabby, just as cute. And I put a tiny little millinery flower in the middle of that one. So, and you can see there's some dimension to them. There's layers, and I only used 4. I used 4 squares on this one, and I used 4 on this one. And then the next I wanted to try was lace, and this is the lace here. Whoops, sorry. This is the lace, and again I used the squares, and I did the same thing. I kitty cornered them, and once you put the band around the button, what I did was I just kind of come out, and all you have to do is that. I mean, these are so easy. It's just genius. I mean, I made all these flowers, like, I probably didn't even spend a half an hour making all these flowers. And look I mean, it looks like a bunch of different petals. I did use 6 pieces on this one. And then I put this little applique in the middle and this little pearl, flat back pearl piece. But look at how shabby that one looks, and how dimensional it is. And then I wanted to try it with the circles. And this is, I like how the circle came out. I love the size of it. I love these little flowers. And I just took a beige connector and I tried to make it look like stamens coming out. And they're just so cute. I love them. And then the last two that I made, I had this fabric, and I don't know what it is. It's very light, and it's almost like a crepe. I think it might be a crepe. And this one is the squares, and did the same thing. I used this little flower applique, and then I used this little rhinestone button in the middle. And I mean, look at, it's just so totally shabby. And then the last one I made, I used the circles, and I left this one without anything in the center. I may put one in, but I just wanted to show you quickly how you do it, and then you can go over and Tricia will show you much better than I can. But I used 6 of the circles. You just put the button in the middle, you pull them up like this, and I twisted it a little bit because this fabric was so light. I was able to do a little twist, and then there's the band right there. And then you can pull. You pull and see there's inside there. That's where the button is. And then with this fabric here, if you take each one and you just want to manipulate it. So look at how full this flower is now. Isn't that beautiful? I just love that. So I had fun, and I'm going to make tons more of these flowers. I mean, like I said, they're so quick. And I mean, when you're doing a project and you want flowers, no time at all. Thank you, Tricia, so much for thinking of this. I don't think you're bonkers. I think you're a genius, and I love them. So, thanks for watching, everyone. And if you'd like, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you haven't seen Tricia's video, please click it on in my description and go see, because she made some absolutely gorgeous flowers. So thanks for watching, everyone. See you again soon. Bye for now.